Hey, everybody. You all want to be free, don't you? I know you do. Nobody wants to be a slave. So, I got this figured out. I do. Because I got it to where it's stupidly simple. All right. So, the DEA has marijuana or cannabis, whatever you want to call it, classified as a Schedule 1 narcotic with zero medicinal value. Check it out for yourself. You don't believe me? Go check it out for yourself. All right. So understand that. Know that. The DEA classifies cannabis as a Schedule 1 narcotic with zero medicinal value and high propensity for abuse. Fact number one, you need to know that. Fact number two, and you can check this out right now while you're listening. There's almost nothing in my videos you need to watch. Most of the time, it's just listening. Occasionally, there's things to watch. Now, so the first thing you need to know is that the DEA has cannabis scheduled as zero medicinal value. In the description of this video is a link for Colgate from their global scientific review. Colgate says you cannot regrow your gum tissue. It's fact. Click on the link. When I discovered gum tissue rejuvenation, Colgate was advertising with a statement that was from print from the United States National Library of Medicine. And this is very well known in the medical industry and in the dental industry, that if you have lost gum tissue, it's gone forever and it's not coming back. All right, these are facts. Not that you cannot regenerate gum tissue. That is a falsehood. But the position of science, your brightest minds, your most advanced technological research available. The National Institute of Health in May 2016 funded a study with 1,800 million fiat dollars. It's a fact. The title of that study was Revolutionizing the Root Canal. However, you read if you can find the findings of that study seem to have been deleted from the internet. It was the first or second paragraph said, failed to regenerate gum tissue. Revolutionizing the root canal was the main purpose of that study. How come right in the very beginning, failed to regenerate gum tissue? Lord have mercy. Right now, you can go into the description and you can hit the link to oralhealthwithcannabis.com where you can go and see these pictures. All right, the one with the red, that's in a dentist office, These are both in a dentist office where the man had brushed and flossed and then chewed a plaque disclosing capsule where the dye adheres to the plaques. You can see these pictures. All right, you can click on that link. You can do this all while you're listening to this video. What more do you need to know? You want your freedom? Cannabis removes calcified oral plaques. Calcified oral plaques are harmful to man and mammal. For your safety, this should be provided to you at near free of charge. But the system is set up that for your safety, you're going to jail. You're going to prison. Now you got some big efforts to be free. Huge efforts. And it doesn't matter what rabbit hole you're down in. It doesn't matter what your knowledge base is. You want your freedom. Understand two things. The DEA schedules cannabis as zero medicinal value. Science says you cannot rejuvenate gum tissue. Science says the main reason for gum tissue loss is oral plaques on your teeth and gum, which leads to bone loss, which leads to infections, which leads to loose teeth, which also leads to tooth decay. It leads to tooth treatments, drilling, filling, root canals, crowns. It leads to abscesses, pustules, infections. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So it's obvious harm. Plaque is harm. Now, one of the easiest things to prove is calcified plaque removal. Very easy to prove because it's the THC in the RSO oil that is so effective. So it's just a matter of how you use it. All right. For all you slaves, oh, you can't give medical advice. Well, screw medical advice. Screw the medical profession. I'm telling you how to be free and how to be healthy. Health advice. My experience. Can you tell me I can't share my experience with you? Don't give medical advice, boy. Let's go back to the patent. I'm gonna read you this one paragraph. Further, although I have uncovered various attempts at the use of an extract of cannabis plant material in various pharmaceutical compositions, prior work specifically directed at the use of an extract of cannabis plant material in mouthwashes per se seems elusive. One of the more comprehensive surveys of work in other somewhat related fields that I have uncovered is revealed U.S. patent number 9044390B1, issued to Gary J. Spicer on June 2nd, 2015. June 2nd, 2015. I applied for my patent in the spring or late winter of 2016. Now, the Spicer patent is for CBD mouth rinse, and it's for the treatment of periodontal disease. I had to argue against that patent. Anyways, that's irrelevant. All this stuff, all this other stuff is so irrelevant. You just need to know two things to take some real strong action. And once this clicks in your head, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, it's a kiss. It's keep it stupidly simple. Just be patient. Oh, Lord have mercy. Imagine, if you will, marijuana classified as essential for man and mammal. Just imagine that. It should be classified as essential for man and mammal. I put a survey on my Telegram channel yesterday. I'm going to pull it up just because I get so much stuff spinning through my head. By the time I can spit something out, I've already had 7 other thoughts processing, sometimes 2 or 3 of them at the same time. And so I put this poll in, and even when I wrote this poll, I left a few things out. So I'll see if I can't add them in here as we go. All right. Why is cannabis essential for man and mammal health? Why? Because scientists can't rejuvenate lost gum tissue, yet cannabis does. Fact. Because cannabis prevents gum tissue loss. Fact. Because cannabis prevents harmful oral plaques. Fact. Because cannabis removes calcified oral plaques. Because cannabis formulations create a protective coating for your teeth, which is impermeable to acidics like apple cider vinegar and lemonade and grapefruit juice and orange juice and, some of these things that are, supposedly healthy for you, good for you. It prevents tooth decay. It prevents abscesses. It prevents infection. It prevents tooth loss. It prevents dentures. It prevents partials. It prevents implants. It prevents bad breath. The Surgeon General's report from 2000, he stated you cannot be healthy without good oral health. So now think about this. Here's the kicker. Cannabis is essential for human health, and you live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And your liberty and your freedom and your privacy are at the top of the list of your unalienable rights that once were constitutionally protected, why is anybody in the court system for cannabis? Why is anybody in the jail system for cannabis? Why is anybody in the prison system for cannabis? Think about this. Why is anybody being hassled by policy officers for cannabis? Cannabis has never killed anyone. Cannabis is responsible for 0 death. Can't say that about dentistry. Children die in a dental chair. Statistically, every dental office will experience a dental office related death in that practitioner's time in practice. Now, back in the day, we didn't have to wear eye protection when we went to the dentist, but after dentists have dropped the needle into the eye of their patient, right? That syringe with the Novocaine or the other chemicals that they're using to numb you up. Yeah, I pull it out of the mouth with all that bacteria and then drop it in somebody's eyeball, and their eyeball gets so infected they lose their eye. People get injured in the dental office. Children die in the dental office. You don't believe me? I think it's on the About Us page. You can go there right now while you're listening. Go look at the research proposal. Scroll through it. You'll find it. Texas was the only state in the union that had a requirement to report dental office related deaths. This is where I learned that children die in the dental office, in the dental chair, in the dental procedure chair. You want to be free? Cannabis is essential for human health. Now you got to reevaluate everything. Why is anybody in jail? Why is anybody in court? Why is anybody in prison for marijuana? What are you going to do? Now you're going to empty the jails. You're going to empty these private prisons. Guess what? They're going to go belly up. You're going to put these British agents out of business. Can you imagine the dent that will put into this bar enslavement, assumption, presumption, legalese that they've all perpetrated upon you in a fraud through brainwashing and malicious activity? You're all struggling. You want the right to travel. You want the right to carry. You want the right to free speech. You get these auditors out there. They just want to film in public. They're getting arrested. They're talking about their First Amendment right. Look, that's a banking constitution. Look, you can go down all these rabbit holes. I've been down so many of them. You can learn quantum grammar. You can stand under the Title IV flag. You can get the claim of life. You could study. You could learn you're a member of the militia. You could learn you've got all power. You do. But the system you're fighting is a monster. So let's make it stupidly simple how we break the back of this monster. Marijuana is a Schedule 1 narcotic, zero medicinal value. Science cannot rejuvenate gum tissue. Cannabis rejuvenates gum tissue. What is the primary cause of gum tissue loss? Oral plaques and the bacteria that lives in those oral plaques and forms those oral plaques. Cannabis prevents oral plaques. Cannabis removes oral plaques. Therefore, cannabis will prevent gum tissue loss. Cannabis rejuvenates lost gum tissue. Science cannot rejuvenate lost gum tissue. Very powerful for oral health. Thus, cannabis should be essential, classified as essential for human health, for the health of man and mammal. I got to stop saying human. Bad boy, Ethan. Cannabis is essential. Own your authority and get that changed. You don't have to argue about any code. You don't have to argue about any statute. You don't have to understand the Constitution. You don't have to understand your unalienable rights. All you have to understand is plaques are harmful. Whether they're oral plaques, arterial plaques, plaques on your pineal gland, plaques are harmful. Cannabis prevents oral plaques. Cannabis removes oral plaques, thus prevents gum tissue loss. If you have gum tissue loss, science cannot rejuvenate or regenerate your gum tissue. Cannabis can. Therefore, cannabis must be essential for the health of man and mammal. So why is anyone in jail? Why is anyone in the courts? Why is anyone in prison? You want your freedom? What do you need to study for this? What do you need to study? Oh, I need something to give to my dentist. Okay, fine. Give them the website address. Better yet, on the services page in the documents section, I created a command letter. All right, it lists, there's 3 pages there. One page lists out some of the major events that I've had to deal with in this. All the oppression and suppression from government, big business, big tech, the fear. All right. But there's a command letter there. You're commanding an investigation. Why? Because they are public care they're healthcare providers to the public. Health care providers to the public. They have a duty and a responsibility to provide you with the best possible services and treatments. Now, your dentist may not be happy about this at all. No, your dentist is going to be scared. Going to be scared of the DEA, going to be scared of the FDA, going to be scared of the bar, going to be scared of the American Dental Association. They are going to be petrified. How do I know? Because I've encountered them for years. The dentist for these pictures from 2015 wanted to conduct clinical trials. The dentist is in hiding, afraid. The dentist is probably doing root canals. How many? 15 million root canals on average in America every year. Wow. 15 million on average. That's a lot, isn't it? Oh, I'm pulling up the calculator here. Oh, dummy. That was a calendar. There's a calculator. All right. 15 million. That's 15 million. Divided by 365. That's over 41,000 root canals a day, 7 days a week. Over 41,000. How many fillings are done a day? How many tooth cleanings are done a day? How much pain and suffering do we, the people, deal with for poor oral health because of oral plaques? Cannabis prevents oral plaques. Cannabis removes oral plaques. Cannabis should be essential for the health of man and mammal. With cannabis is essential for man and mammal, no one will be in countering policy officers looking to strip you of your right to privacy, of your right to be healthy, of your right to choose for yourself. And it's not government's job to be doing what government's doing. It's an enslavement system that's all screwed up, and everybody's trying to figure out how to be free. I'm telling you, it's stupidly simple. Stand to make cannabis essential. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Communist. It doesn't matter. Everyone's got a mouth. It doesn't matter if you're Chinese, Indian, Black, Mexican, African American, alien. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're an assembly person. It doesn't matter if you're an administrative process person. It doesn't matter. Everyone's got a mouth. Everyone. And so does your cat, and so does your dog. Now I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about all the other benefits of cannabis and hemp. It's about as pointless as going on about your unalienable rights that were once constitutionally protected. It's about as pointless as going on about all these other things that you could be studying, you could be doing because you want to be free and you want to be healthy. It's stupidly simple. The DEA has cannabis scheduled as a Schedule 1 narcotic, zero medicinal value, high propensity for abuse. Science cannot regenerate or rejuvenate lost gum tissue. Cannabis does. In addition to that, cannabis formulations can prevent the gum tissue loss by preventing the calcified plaques, by preventing the plaques, by removing the calcified plaques. If you have suffered gum tissue loss because of poor oral health, the cannabis can rejuvenate your gum tissue. Therefore, cannabis is essential for human health. If it's essential for human health, the jails must be emptied, the courtrooms must be emptied, the prisons must be emptied of any man, male or female, regardless of age, for a cannabis related so called infraction. Separate any violence that was involved in that. However, if there was violence involved, you still better take a real hard look, because there might have been no violence if their rights hadn't been trampled. This was once part of pharmacopoeia. Cannabis has been used medicinally for thousands of years. None of that matters. What matters is the DEA has it classified as a Schedule 1 narcotic, zero medicinal value, when in fact it is a plant. It is an herb. It's God given. It prevents poor oral health. It prevents bleeding gums. It prevents bad breath. It prevents tooth decay. It prevents root canals. It prevents tooth loss. It prevents bone loss. It prevents partials, dentures, crowns. And it prevents a lot of other terrible things regarding your health. Because Dr. Thomas Levy explains, and this was pre-mitochondria, right? I mean, we have this mitochondria thing, right? I mean, all of a sudden, sudden death is a thing, right? And, maybe you should have a portable defibrillator with you. And, too much time sitting at your desk, taking too many breaths, spending too much time out in the sun, climate change, on and on and on and on is all responsible for this mitochondria, right? But before all of this nonsense, according to Dr. Thomas Levy, a heart surgeon, you want to listen to Dr. Levy, there's a link on the homepage. He gives a lot of talks. I selected a great one for you where he explains a lot of this. He's giving a lecture at an international oral health conference where he explains to these college-educated idiots that every root canal tooth is a toxic tooth. Toxic teeth are the cause of 90% of heart attacks, according to his practice, where he finds oral plaques in the high-pressure ventricle in 90% of his patients. So if we eliminate these toxic teeth, we can eliminate 90% of those heart attacks that were happening before this new crazy thing with this mitochondria stuff. Dr. Thomas Levy claims that toxic teeth are the cause of the majority of breast cancer and can be a cause of virtually any inflammatory condition. Poor oral health is harmful to man and mammal. Cannabis can provide you with optimal oral health by preventing plaques, by removing plaques, by preventing deterioration of your gum, your bone, your teeth, prevent the bleeding, prevent the bad breath, prevent the abscess. What else can do that? Nothing can do that. Science cannot rejuvenate your gum tissue. Industry cannot give you a mouth rinse that will prevent plaques and remove plaques. So cannabis should be essential for human health. You make cannabis essential for health of man and mammal. Stop saying human. So it's that simple, folks. You want to be free. You want to be healthy. Make your stand. The command letter is on the About Us page. The link, live link, just click on it. Take you right to oralhealthwithcannabis.com is in the description of this video. Now, cannabis is a sunscreen. Near the bottom of the homepage, go down there and look at the pictures of cannabis as a sunscreen. I prove it as a sunscreen. When I was in Jamaica, I proved non-euphoric cannabis as a sunscreen. I don't have any pictures of it. I don't have any documentation of it, but it's so easy for you to do. You just make a non-euphoric formulation with isopropyl alcohol. I've explained that. Look at my videos titled non-euphoric. I have to come back and do an update on my last non-euphoric video. I'm going to be talking more about it. You can do this in a matter of days, because within a matter of days, you can create your topical non-euphoric cannabis formulation as a sunscreen. And if you live in a sunny climate, you have warm temperatures, all you need is 1 day. 1 day out in the sunshine and you can prove it. Put some here and don't put some over here. Or however you want to do it. Have somebody use their fingers and put letters on your back. Cannabis is a sunscreen. And isopropyl alcohol isn't going to hurt you. It's not going to dry your skin out because you got all those cannabinoids in there. Cannabis is essential for the health of man and mammal. Now, up until I came along with visual, measurable, repeatable documentation of efficacy in calcified plaque removal, in gum tissue rejuvenation, and as a sunscreen, all we had was anecdotals and government telling you how harmful it is for you, how bad it is for you. And for your safety, if you mess with it, you're going to pay with your liberty and your freedom that we're going to strip from you. Because we're such good servants, we're going to put you in prison. Oh, my goodness. Keep it stupidly simple. Let's get cannabis classified as essential. This is going to empty out those courts. It's going to empty out the jails. It's going to empty out the prisons. It's going to empower you. It's going to make you healthy. It's going to keep money in your pocket. It's going to help you keep your freedom. Certainly going to help you with your time, minimize your pain and suffering greatly. Win, 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 people. So that's all you got to know. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to keep talking about this because it is stupidly simple. All right, everybody. You know I'm fighting for you. You know I love you. If you don't, I'm fighting for you and I love you. All right, now you know. All right, everybody. I'll be back. Bye for now.